You think I should ramble about the 3DS, or just get straight to the point? I'm just gonna ramble. It's fun to ramble. You know, it's been a while since I've actually played on the 3DS. I mean, even back in 2017 when I got this thing new, I didn't really use it all that much. I guess I wasn't really interested in the games that were available back then. And it's not like I could try them now because the eShop shut down last year. Or can I? Yep, that's right. I modded my 3DS, and I'm really glad I did. Even though I still didn't really do much with it, at least compared to other people, I had a lot of fun with it, and I've been using it a lot more nowadays. In fact, I've probably been playing on my 3DS more than I did even back then. So today, I'm going to talk about the process of modding my 3DS, why I did it, what I did with it, and why you should mod your 3DS as well. If you have one. I'll admit, I didn't ramble as much as I thought I would, but that'll change later in the video. Besides, I wasn't about to dive into the history of the 3DS. Who do you think I am? A video essayist? If that's even a real word. In case you were wondering, no. This isn't a guide on how to mod your 3DS. First of all, the methods for modding your 3DS change quite a bit over time, which means that video guides aren't the best way to know what to do. So, with that in mind, what did I do? Well, I went on this website called 3ds.hackstar.guide, which is always up to date, and it walked me through every step of the way. In my case, I had a new Nintendo 3DS XL, so the exploit I used involved putting some files on my micro SD card, going on the internet browser, going on a specific website and following a bunch of instructions on that website to trigger an exploit that brought me to the Homebrew launcher. I was honestly kinda surprised that it worked on my first try. Based on my previous experiences with trying to jailbreak my iPad to get my mouse working on it, which didn't go well at all, I thought that trying to mod my 3DS would be around the same. But nope, first try, baby. After that, there was some other stuff I had to install, which I imagine has a similar process for all 3DSs, so I won't go into detail about how that works. All that matters is that in around half an hour, I managed to get this thing up and running with the latest custom firmware. But for what reason? What did I go through that whole process for? Why did I decide to mod my 3DS? I'll admit, the only reason why I even considered modding my 3DS was to play Terraria on it. I own Terraria on basically any device I can get it on. My computer, my iPad, and even my Xbox 360 have Terraria. So, when I saw that Gungnir released a video about Terraria for the 3DS, I knew that I had to get it on my 3DS. Of course, it wasn't as easy as buying it off of the eShop because, well, it shut down. But lucky for me, there was another way. And it's all thanks to the H-Shop. For those who don't know, the H-Shop is a revival of the eShop. It allows you to get any game that was previously available on the eShop, except you don't have to pay. Naturally, this might concern some people who are anti-piracy and all that, and I won't go into huge detail about all that, but the reality is that there really isn't any better way to go about this. Sure, I could have gone on eBay and bought a genuine copy of Terraria for my 3DS, but it's pretty costly, and the money is probably only going to the seller, not Realogic, which is the company that made Turia. But anyways, this was the big reason as to why I modded my 3DS. If I already had Turia on my 3DS, I probably would have never gone through with this process. I never would have discovered all this amazing cool content the community made specifically for the 3DS. It's kind of sad in a way. Speaking of amazing cool content the community made. Okay, right now I just decided to show you what's on my 3DS and what I've done with it after I modded it. So, ignoring my poor attempt at commentary, now it's time for the part that we've all been waiting for. What did I do with my 3DS? Well, not much, but I can still talk about it. First, we have 3D Pinball Space Cadet. This was one of the games that came with Windows back in the day. I mean, not like I would know since I'm a Mac user. And it's not like I would know now because the game didn't work. It just brought me to a black screen and that's it. You know, I don't get why everybody likes this so much. Like, what do you even do here, huh? Yeah, I think I'll stick with my iTunes and chess and just kidding. I actually did manage to get it working. Yep, that's right. Apparently you need the actual Windows version of 3D Pinball Space Cadet to get it working, which was pretty easy to find. You also have to change the format of the music, which was a little more complicated than it should have been because Audacity is not able to deal with .mid files. But you can just download the music in a more compatible format on another website. I'll link the websites where I got all this stuff in the description. Running low fuel? How do I fix that? Come on, just... No! Freaking... I was so close. Man, I was so close. It was one off. Next up, we have Pretendo. Much like the H-Shop is a revival of the eShop, Pretendo is a revival of Nintendo's online services for the 3DS and Wii U. I haven't tried it yet, but I probably will when I want to play Mario Maker. Next, we have ThirdTube. Much like the H-Shop is a revival of the eShop, and much like Pretendo is a revival of Nintendo's online services, ThirdTube is a revival of YouTube for the 3DS. But it's also kinda not. It used to work very well 50% of the time, but now it works well 0% of the time. So I have to resort to showing you past footage of when this thing worked well. Fortunately, ThirdTube doesn't work all the time. As you can see, it says FFmpeg returned not success. Although, you can just try to keep reloading until it starts working.
Is it possible to beat Terraria without dealing damage?
Which it seems like it has done first try, so... Yeah, sometimes it gets really bad where you have to keep reloading multiple times in order to get it to work, but this time it was just one try.
Well, no, not really. There are several mandatory bosses that must be slain before you can beat the game. However,
There's an option to turn off the video if you want to listen to music. Sometimes it does this too. Oh well. What are you gonna do? What an age we live in.
What an age we live in indeed. Then we have... oh, that's it. Alright, I guess. Thought there was gonna be more stuff. I mean, there was also the NDS forwarder, which allowed you to play Nintendo DS games from the home menu, but I will save that for a future video. Other than that, that's about it. But fortunately, that's only the list of things that I haven't tried or don't work. Now I'll make a brief stop to the essentials. Checkpoint is an application that allows you to back up save data on most of your games.
Although for some reason Terraria isn't on here. So is Minecraft. That's strange.
Anemone is an application that allows you to change the theme of your home screen to one of the thousands of themes that the community has made. But that doesn't matter because clearly the best theme is the egg and onion theme.
This is what I used to change my theme to the beautiful. You know, you can't really see it there. This is beautiful egg and onion.
The Homebrew launcher is the thing that runs the other things. There are two formats that Homebrew can come in. There's .cia, which allows them to show up on the home screen, and then there's .3dsx, which can be run through the Homebrew launcher. Universal Updater is not an updater. Well, I guess it is, but it's the place where you can download Homebrew and all that stuff. And update it, I guess.
Quite a bit of fun stuff. There's even stuff for the DS on here. Look at this, Breaking Bad DS. Even stuff for other languages.
FTPD is an application that allows you to access your 3DS's SD card wirelessly. You use your computer to put files onto the SD card via Wi-Fi. This is very useful for people who have the new 3DS models because to get to the micro SD card, you have to unscrew the back plate, which kinda sucks. Although I don't use it because I'd rather unscrew the back plate than host my files on a server where people can probably hack the server and mess with my files. And lastly, FBI is an application that lets you forward .cia applications to your home menu. You can do so by installing the file on your SD card or by using a QR code. Now we can move on to the rest of the good stuff. Something I should mention about the Ace Shop is that there's actually a website where you can get the games from there. However, I find that it's easier to get the app on your 3DS than having to take your SD card out every time. Getting the app is pretty easy. One way to do it is to download the .cia file, put it on your SD card, and then use FBI to get it on your home screen. The other way is to use FBI to scan the QR code on the website, which is what I did. Alright, but here's the coolest part about these apps. They allow you to see the time and your battery percentage. Isn't that cool? Huh? Huh? No? 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 Alright then.
Oh yeah, wait, check this out. I press left shoulder button down and select. Look at this. Get the Rosalina menu. And then here I can take a screenshot. And all these other things. It also tells me how much battery I have in percentage. As you can see, it's 30%. The battery bar is a little bit... Battery's a little bit of a lie because you would think that 2 bars means 50%, but it's actually 30%. It also tells me what temperature it's running at. That's pretty cool.
Now it's time to talk about Terraria some more. Much like the Xbox 360 edition of the game, Terraria for the 3DS is an old gen version. This means that, well, it's an old version of the game. But it also means that there will be some exclusive content that isn't available on PC and mobile versions of the game. Not just content that is exclusive to any old gen console, but also content that's exclusive to the 3DS itself. In fact, for the longest time, this was actually true for the mobile version of Terraria up until its update in 2019. Now, you can't get bosses like Lepus, Okram, and Turkor anywhere else. Well, maybe the Windows Phone edition. If you're interested in learning more about Terraria for the 3DS, then I'd recommend checking out Gungnir's video about it in the description. It's honestly a really interesting version of Terraria because of how outdated and silly it can be at times.
No, this is not a nerfed version. For some reason, this just exists pre-hard mode in shadow chests. And in hard mode, once the chlorophyte spawns, we can mine it immediately.
Yes, you really can get the Drax in pre-hard mode. It's things like that, and the exclusive content too, that make this version oh so special. There are some other games that I got from the H shop. There's Minecraft for the 3DS, which is, well, Minecraft for the 3DS. Not a lot of differences between this Minecraft and the normal Minecraft, at least compared to Terraria. I also got Super Mario Maker for the 3DS, but that's another one I haven't really tried. So, it doesn't seem like I got many games, but that's because we haven't taken a look at the Virtual Console. Okay, well, I guess I still only have like 10 games, but come on, let me be content with my 10 games. Do you really need anything more than Tetris? Tetris is like super addicting. Also, I can't be the only one who thinks that the old Mario games are actually pretty hard. Maybe it's just because the controls are janky, or maybe I just suck. Anyways, last but not least, we have Celeste. No, it's not the entire game, it's just the Pico 8 version, but still, it's pretty great. Something cool about it is that it actually doubles as a Game Boy Advance port, because you can see on the bottom screen that it's a Game Boy Advance game. It makes me wonder if somebody's gonna make a port of Pico 8 for the 3DS, or even the Game Boy Advance, since clearly this was possible. So, all of this might have piqued your interest in modding your own 3DS, and I'm not here to discourage you at all. In fact, I'd actually encourage you to mod your 3DS. It might seem a little scary at first, but as someone who is pretty new to modding my stuff, I realized that there is barely any risk at all. As long as you follow the steps, which shouldn't be too hard to follow, you should be completely fine. And even if you do make a little mistake, like I did when I forgot to put one of the files on my SD card, it shouldn't be that big of a deal. Just don't skip a bunch of steps, please. I don't want to be liable for any bricked 3DSs. I also would be cautious when updating your 3DS after you modded it, because apparently Nintendo rolled out an update that tried to brick all modded 3DSs in the past. But even then, you could just wait until the developers find a way around that. I haven't even mentioned all the things you could do with the modded 3DS. If you're interested in emulating older video games, the 3DS is great for that as well. I won't lie and say that I could talk about the 3DS all day, because I'm still pretty new to modding my systems, which is why you shouldn't just limit yourself to what I have to say. It's your 3DS. Go wild and explore what you can do with it. Thank you so much for watching this video. This is a new type of video for me, so I hope you enjoyed it, because even though it took me a couple weeks to make it and I had to re-record the script a few times, like I'm doing now, I had a lot of fun making it, and I'm planning on making more videos just like this one in the future. If you want to watch more videos about the 3DS, take a look at the description, because I put a few there. You can also find credits for websites, videos, and music there. With all that out of the way, I'll see you on the flip side. Wanna know what's better than Celeste on the 3DS? A version of Celeste that doesn't work at all. It keeps crashing every time I want to play it. Innovation at its finest, guys.